Hello, everyone. My name is Kaelynn Earnest, and I am going to talk to you today about capturing your lecture, or how to take what you're doing in the classroom and digitize it without putting in hours of extra work and prep time after school or before school or even during your prep period. The goal is to take what you're already doing and put it online with minimal effort, because I know as teachers, we're always looking for ways to work smarter, not harder. So today I want to just kind of take you through my process of what I've been doing over the course of this year and how I've kind of developed a system for using the tools that we have available to us and capturing everything I'm doing in the classroom and putting that online, like I said, without hours of extra work. So that's kind of the goal today, but I did want to start just kind of by introducing myself. I do teach at McCutcheon. I'm a math teacher here, specifically in the MAV Launch program. And this is my first year here at TSC. Before this, I actually taught in Michigan for 8 years. And my husband and I recently moved to the Lafayette area. We're very happy and excited to be here. And so today, like I said, I want to kind of just take you through my process, hopefully give you some really practical and simple tips that you'll be able to implement in the future. We're going to do this in 4 sections. So I want to start just by kind of going over the tools that I use, like what programs am I using on a daily basis, and what tools do you need to make this work. And then I'll take you through the actual process of how I create a video. Then I'll show you the process of putting that video onto Canvas. And then finally, in the last section, we'll just go over some kind of like helpful hints, or maybe some variations of what I'm doing that might be more applicable to your classroom, and how to kind of make everything apply. So like I said, we know throughout this past year, we've all been kind of challenged to take what we're doing on a day-to-day basis and make all of that available for students at home. And whether or not we're going to see a continuation of remote learning, of students being quarantined, I don't know, you don't know, but I still think with or without those scenarios, what I've learned this year by digitizing my classroom will be applicable forever, especially when it comes to students that are absent, or students who need some extra review. I think it's been a great process for me to figure out how I can capture things that I can then make available for students without me having to reteach the lesson over and over again. Like I said, working smarter, not working harder. And so I also want you to know that my goal is to make this simple, to make it practical. I don't do anything super fancy. There's a lot of options out there to make your videos look really professional, really clean, and that's not what I do. What I do is simple, it's easy, it's to the point, and I think it's effective for taking what I'm doing in the classroom and putting it onto my Canvas page to make it available for students. So like I said, the first thing I want to do is just kind of talk to you about the tools that I use. You can see on the screen, I've already got my Canvas page open. I'm sure you're familiar with Canvas. We've all become probably more intimately familiar with Canvas over the course of the last year. So that's the first thing, right? Being familiar with Canvas. A lot of my interactions with students on Canvas happen via modules. So where I'm creating pages, and that's where my videos are being posted on the pages that I've created on Canvas. Screencastify is the program that I'm using to actually create the video. I'm having a little bit of an internet lag at the moment, as you can see. So hopefully things will keep loading and we'll be able to keep going here. Okay. My modules are popping up. So you can see I've got pages listed, Monday instructions, Tuesday instructions. That's where I post the actual video. And in the next section, we'll take a little bit of a deeper look at that. You may or may not already have Screencastify loaded into your Google Chrome browser. So if you do, you'll see at the top of your screen, mine's red because I'm currently recording, but there is a Screencastify button, which is where everything kind of gets started. It'll be a little bit difficult for me to kind of show that to you because I'm currently using it, but we'll do our best. Another program that I use is OneNote because I like to write my notes on the board, if you will, for students. We'll talk about that in a moment, but the program that I like to use to take notes with my students is OneNote. So I've already got it open down here. I'm going to open that up really quickly here. So OneNote is just a note-taking program. If you're unfamiliar with it or if you don't know where to find it, if you go to your Start button at the bottom left hand of your screen and open up all of the applications that are available to us, there's a couple of different OneNote options. If you scroll down, you'll see OneNote for Windows 10. This is not the one that you want. The one that I use is actually found here in Microsoft Office. So if you click and open Microsoft Office, this is where Excel is, this is where Word is, and you'll also see OneNote 2016. This is the OneNote program that I use on a daily basis to take my notes in class with my Screencastify videos, and then you can also turn this into a PDF and upload that PDF to Canvas right there, so the students not only have the video, but they kind of have a hard copy, if you will, of the notes that you took. And then the other tools that I use on a regular basis are my projector and my laptop. So I actually teach from my laptop on a daily basis. I actually rarely use my desktop. But I wanted to be able to kind of actually show you what I do with my laptop. And since we can't be in person, I'm kind of doubling up my computer usage here, because on a daily basis, when I use OneNote, I'll open it up here. I am using my laptop in tablet mode, and you can, with the stylus that comes with the laptop, write directly on the screen in tablet mode. And if your laptop is connected to your classroom projector, that information is going right on the screen. So in essence, I'm writing on the board, but at the same time, because it's on my computer, I can also record it. So I'm kind of getting a 2-for-1. I'm putting information up on the board or up on the screen for students to see, but I'm capturing that through the laptop. And it serves a couple of purposes. So first of all, like I said, because it's actually on the computer, I'm able to record it as it's happening. And secondly, I like writing on my laptop because I can, one, see the students as I'm writing, as opposed to having my back to them while I'm writing on the board. And two, unlike a document camera, my computer tablet is mobile. So I can actually walk around the classroom and stand in different locations, maybe right next to that student who's sleeping, to kind of get extra attention. And so I like that mobility and I like that flexibility that I have writing with the tablet and projecting it onto the screen. So those are the tools that I use in order to capture my lecture. I'll just review. Canvas is where the videos get posted. Screencastify is the program that I use to create the videos. I'm also using OneNote on my laptop, tablet, and projecting that tablet onto my whiteboard screen from the projector. So in the next segment, we'll talk about the actual process of creating the video and using OneNote on my tablet and the actual writing and all of that. So that's what we'll talk about next. So in this section, I want to take you through kind of my process and how I create the videos, how I give my lessons in the classroom, and how creating the video really is just like an extra 10 seconds in my regular day of teaching. So like I said, I'm going to be using Screencastify and Canvas and OneNote. I've also got my laptop, which I'm going to change into a tablet mode in just a moment here, and it's connected to my projector. So everything that I'm seeing on my screen, my students are seeing projected onto the whiteboard. So I'm able to kind of face them and write notes at the same time. So I did want to mention, if you don't already have Screencastify loaded into your Chrome extensions, I can kind of give you some tips on how to get it added. Because you are a TSC teacher with your Google account, you already have a Screencastify account kind of connected with your Google account. You'll notice that no one's moving around in my classroom, so my lights just turned off, but hopefully you can still see me, and I'm just going to kind of keep rolling with it. So anyway, like I said, adding Screencastify to Chrome if you don't already have it loaded. This is just kind of a regular Google page, and I'm going to open up. So up here at the top, I don't know if you can see my cursor, at the top left-hand side of the window, there's an apps button. So if you click on that, then down at the right-hand side of the screen, just kind of below my picture here, it says Web Store. So if I click on Web Store, the Google Chrome extension Web Store opens up. And Google Chrome has hundreds of options of extensions you can add. So those are just kinds of things that run in the background of your web browser, Google Chrome, that are just kind of ready at the click of a button. So if you look at the top of my open window here, you'll see all of these little buttons. These are the extensions that I currently have added to Chrome. This little arrow button right there, like I said, that's the Screencastify recording button, which is currently being used. But if you search the store for Screencastify, then you'll see I've already got it added. But from here, you can easily have this installed into your Google Chrome so that the button is right there at the top of your screen, like you see it on mine. So you do have to have that set up in order for this to work. And hey, my lights just came back on. So when I get this started on a daily basis, there are some things that I like to have set up and ready to go. As you can see, I've currently got my screen open to my kind of home page for my Canvas courses. I've got a cute little Bitmoji classroom rocking my kind of home page to my Screencastify. And this is kind of where I put announcements on Canvas, just like I would like on my whiteboard. So on my whiteboard, if I'm going to like write my day's objective, or I like to write just kind of today's to-do list, just to kind of give the students an idea of what the day is going to be, I can also put that on Canvas to enhance that idea of digitizing my classroom. So I like to have my Canvas set and ready to go for the day. As I said, I post my videos in pages in modules. So I'll take you through that quickly here. You can see right now the module that we have active is our exam review. So every day I post an instructions page. So Tuesday's instructions with a date, Wednesday's instructions. That way, if students are absent, I just tell them, make sure you've checked the Canvas page, and they can just look for the day's date. So let me open up one of these and you can kind of see what I've got going on. I'll show you how I add my videos to Canvas in the next segment, but you can just kind of see a little bit here. So I've got a page where I've written out the day's objectives, our to-do list, and this is where I post my notes videos once they're finished. So this is where the students can access them. So I like to have that page already created. So if you go back to modules, I can create a page really quickly down at the bottom in my exam review. So I'm gonna have to move my little window here for a second. So just adding a page to Canvas and add page, create the page, enter the day's date, and I would add Monday's page, but I can't think off the top of my head what Monday's date is, so I won't do that. But I would just type in the day's date and Monday instructions and create that page to prep for adding my video later. So I like to have my Canvas set up before I start. I also like to have my OneNote notebook open and ready to go as well. You can see I've got different folders in my OneNote notebook that correspond with the modules that we're doing in Canvas. So right now I've got the exam review open. Personally, I like to write on line paper. So if you go up to the view at the top of OneNote, you can turn on the lined paper. I do this for a couple of reasons. One is because I like to take notes with my students. I think it's a good motivation technique for students to write everything down if I'm also writing it down. So I tell them, if I'm going to make you write it, I will write it as well. And anything that I write down, anything that I'm willing to take the time and write out by hand, then you better be writing it. And I also think that there are a lot of benefits to requiring students to write their notes by hand. I think it really affects their processing, right? Because they're taking the information from the screen and from your voice. It's going into their eyes and into their ears. And then by having that information then come out of their hand, you're forcing that listening process to kind of be fully realized. And so I really encourage my students to take notes with me. And so that's why I like to use this OneNote program on my tablet, because it allows me to be mobile, like I said earlier, but also everything I write down, I expect them to be writing down as well. So like I said, I like to have my page already prepped and ready to go. I like to have the ruler already turned on, and if I'm teaching multiple classes, you can see here there's add a page. I'll add multiple pages just so that's a little bit more of a smooth transition once I'm actually creating my video. So let me jump back to Canvas here, and I'll kind of walk you through the steps that I take when I actually create my video. So like I said, I like to have those things kind of prepped and ready to go. I like to have my Canvas page prepped and ready to go. I like to have my OneNote notebook already opened with the page already added and ready to go. And I also make sure that my projector is turned on and my laptop is connected to my projector, and there go my lights again. So just to, if you don't use your laptop and your projector very often, there is an icon that you can open to use to connect to your projector. And I'm sure at the end, if you have questions about that, that's something that the team can kind of walk you through if that's something that you are unfamiliar with. So once everything is kind of set and prepped, I like to start on my Canvas page, because I think it's a good, just kind of like opening picture instead of like my messy desktop or just other random screens or tabs that I might have open. I like to kind of start to give it almost like a title page to the beginning of my video is that welcome page on my Canvas course. I actually don't typically use the webcam like I am today, because once I flip my laptop into tablet mode, that camera is projected at the ceiling and it doesn't do anybody any good anymore. So I usually don't even bother with the camera at all. And I can't click on it to show you what it looks like, but I took some screenshots. So let me see if I can open those up, because of course I don't have that prepped, which I normally would have. So bear with me for a moment while I open up these screenshots for you. Okay, so here is the first picture I took to kind of show you this Screencastify. So when you first click on the Screencastify icon, which you can see here with my cursor, it's going to pop open this window. And like I said, you can see here, I do not have my webcam turned on. I don't normally use it. But you do want to make sure your microphone is turned on, because you want to be capturing the things that you're saying, not just what's going on the screen. And so then you'll hit the record button. And once you hit the record button, another window pops up that looks like this. So from here, you'll decide, like, what is it that you want to share? You can share just a window, like if you just want them to see your Canvas page and not anything else, you could click on window. I always just click on entire screen, because I want to switch between programs. I want them to be able to see everything that I'm doing. So once you click on entire screen, this share button here will turn blue. You'll click on that. And that will turn on Screencastify, that will turn on the recording, and you'll get a 3, 2, 1 countdown for your videos to start. So then once my videos start, I'll take you through that actual process. So I'm going to turn off my camera now to kind of show you more of what my screen looks like. And like I said, I'm going to be flipping my laptop into tablet mode, so you don't need to see the ceiling anyway. So anyway, okay, so there goes my picture. So this is what my screen normally looks like when I start a Screencastify video for class. And like I said, it's a couple clicks of the button and you're ready to go and ready to launch Screencastify. So I usually start here by reminding students of the day's objective. I've already started class, but I want the video to kind of also have an introduction. So I'll say something like, remember, today's objective is to review polynomial multiplication. So we're going to go through a few examples of that today, or maybe I'll share some reminders if there's some things that I want the kids at home to know as well. And then from here, I'll go down to this button and open up my OneNote and transition my laptop into tablet mode. And so now my laptop sits flat on my desk, and I can see my students. I can write on my screen here. Oh, not with the highlighter. Okay, so in Draw, you can change your color. So usually starting with black. And I title my notes, and I try to teach the students good note-taking habits at the same time. So I'm going to date my notes as well. And from here, I can go through whatever math notes or any notes, right? It doesn't have to be applicable to a math classroom. This is applicable to any time you might be writing on your board, right? So if you wanted to type or write some reminders, if you wanted to go through some examples by hand, anything that you would write on the whiteboard, you can capture in this OneNote program using Screencastify. There are a couple of features about OneNote that I like. For instance, it will continue to scroll. So as I keep writing blah, blah, blah on my notebook, it's an endless page, so we can go through example 1 and go through that multiplication, and I can keep scrolling, and now I can move on to example 2 and endlessly scrolling. So one of the benefits to using this tablet mode as opposed to actually writing on the whiteboard is that I don't ever have to spend any time
erasing. It's just an endless page that continues as I continue to scroll. As you noticed, I had to change my color. So if you have the Draw tab open at the bottom, another nice benefit is that it's really quick to change colors or to change to a highlighter. I know that when I'm teaching math, it's really nice because if I wanted to maybe graph something, I can quickly move from one color to another color on the screen to kind of help the students see different concepts, or just any reason that you might want to use different colors, maybe to make vocabulary words stand out, or whatever you're doing in your particular lesson. And so then once I've kind of gone through the notes, and my endless scrolling, you can see, I can point to it with my color, down here is the stop button. So once the video is completed, or once my lesson is completed, I simply hit that stop button, which I'm not going to do right now because I'm not quite done with this portion of what I want to talk about. Because I also wanted to let you know a couple of other things that I like about this OneNote program. Like I said, I'm a math teacher, so we frequently have to use graphs. So if I go to my Insert tab, I can quickly insert a picture. I've got a bar graph saved, and so I can add this bar graph right to my notes. And it's movable. You can expand it. You can obviously change the size. This is one thing that I might do kind of before class starts. If I know there's going to be 3 graphs in today's notes, I might go through this page and add multiple graphs so that it's ready to go for class. But it also doesn't take very long. So if it's something that you're working on and you just want to kind of do it in the moment, it doesn't really take away from the lesson that you're giving. It doesn't kind of add a ton of extra time. Another thing that's really great, I'll add a new page here, because maybe you aren't going to necessarily like write notes out by hand, but maybe there's a handout or a worksheet that you've given and you want to go over that with your class. Right here, I don't know if you can, yeah, I've got it highlighted here. There's that file printout underneath the Insert tab. So if I open this up, I can kind of go through my saved documents, grab a PDF file of a worksheet that we've been working on, and I can insert that whole PDF into OneNote. So now I've got my worksheet ready to go. That's being projected onto the screen, and I can write right on this worksheet, and we can start solving the equation, right? So I can take a worksheet that I've already created, whether it's a PDF or a Word document. If there's something that I have already created on my computer, it's easy to insert into this OneNote program. So that's something that I do as well. And again, you can go over questions that your students have, go over a homework assignment that you've given them. And if you're using your laptop or your tablet to do that, you can be recording the whole thing at the same time. So students that are homesick or students that are on vacation or absent for any reason have access to whatever it was that you did during class, and it didn't take you any extra time. You didn't have to create an extra video. You didn't have to stay after class and reteach the lesson. All you have to do is turn on your Screencastify at the beginning of class and let it record what you're already doing. So like I said, I really feel like this is a tool for working smarter, not working harder. And so in the next section, I'll talk to you about how I then take my videos and put them into Canvas, and what that kind of looks like from the student perspective. So in this section, I want to talk about how to take the video that you just created and then post it to Canvas to make it accessible to your students at home. As you can see, I've already got the video that I just created is open on the screen. When you click this stop sharing button down at the bottom of your screen, the video that you just created will automatically open in a new tab in Chrome. So if you're in OneNote or if you're in another program on your computer, you won't necessarily see that. But if you have your browser open, if you have the internet open, that window is just automatically going to pop up and the video you just recorded is automatically going to start playing, which can be kind of weird to have what you just said start playing back to you. So I usually try to get to that video and hit pause as soon as possible, right? So you can see down here, this is the ticker for the video that I just created. You can see there's my face. We just saw this video. And I'll show you how I then take it from this screen and put it into Canvas. So like I said, this will automatically pop open. I like to go up here to the top and give it a title. Usually I title it whatever the notes were. So polynomials, second period, or solving quadratics, fifth period. And I do record multiple classes for multiple reasons. One, things don't always go the way that you planned. And so your first recording might not be your best option. And two, sometimes students ask different questions. And I think that's all valuable information. And so sometimes I'll only post one of the videos that I made depending on the day, or sometimes I'll post all of them. So students can watch specifically their class if they missed something. And it only takes 10 seconds. So it's really not a big addition to your day to post these videos. So over here at the side, you can see kind of your sharing options. I personally like to use the embed code option. So I'll click here to get an embed code, and it will automatically pop up and create a code for you. And all you have to do is click copy. Then we go back over to Canvas. I open up my modules. I open up the days page. So we'll open up tomorrow's page just for fun. Tomorrow's page is ready to go, and I click edit to edit the page. I'll put in a section. Let me move myself so you can see a little bit better. I put in a section in the page that says today's notes. So if I click in that box under today's notes, that's where I want to actually post the video. And because I'm embedding the video, it won't be a link. The actual video will be right in the page for the students. So in your kind of insert options, you want these last three buttons over here, this more option, and then this little cloud kind of icon is your embed option. So if we click that, it'll give you a place to then paste the embed code you just copied. So Control V is all you need. Control V automatically posts, and you hit submit, and the video gets loaded into the page. And then I scroll down and hit save, and that's it. And even taking it slow and explaining it to you, I don't think it took me 30 seconds to go from copy the embed code, paste the embed code, I'm done. I just put my whole lecture online, and it took me maybe 30 seconds. So that, like I said, that really is the goal. How can I take what I'm already doing in the classroom, capture that, digitize it, and put it onto Canvas for my students to watch? Another thing that I like to do, because I am taking notes, it is a math class. Once I've embedded the video, which you can see is still loading, I'll go back to OneNote and take whatever document I've created in OneNote, and again, moving my picture, and I will save this file that I've just created in OneNote. You go to export here, and I'm going to export the page that I just created as a PDF. So I'm going to create a PDF of the notes that I just took, of the notes my students and I just took, and I can put that onto Canvas as well. So not only do my students have a video, but then they also have kind of like a hard copy, if you will, of the actual notes that we took. So I click on PDF, I hit export, and it will save what we've just done in my Google Drive folder. Actually is where I like to save all of these things. So right here you can see I've got my class notes folder, and I title it by date. These are all of the notes that we've taken. So I'm just gonna retitle this Capture Your Lecture Notes Part 1 and hit save. So I've taken the notes I just wrote in class. I've generated a PDF. If I go back to Canvas now, along with the video, move myself again, along with the video, I can upload a document from my Google Drive. And in my class notes, I can pick any, scroll down and find the notes that we just created and submit that. And so now the students have a link to download the PDF that I just created along with the video that I just took. And now everything that I just did in my classroom, I have created a digital copy. I've posted it onto Canvas, and it's available for any student that's at home. And again, it's not a big addition to my prep time or my planning time. Once you get your tools kind of set in place, it's just a couple of clicks of the button, using your tablet to capture anything you want to do on the whiteboard, and then using that technology to then turn it into a PDF, turn it into a video, and put it there all on Canvas. So let me take you through kind of what the finished product looks like then for the students. So if we're in student view here on Canvas, if we open up an instruction page that I had created previously, you can see, oh, this is back when we were remote. So I have my Google Meet link there. Here's my PDF of the notes we took that day. Here's the video of second period. Here's the video of fifth period, and it's all there and ready for students. And it's not only useful for students that are absent, but I like to use it for students who need a little extra review. If there's a concept that they're struggling with, and maybe I don't have time to give them that one-on-one attention that they need, I can direct them back. Or maybe you have students who aren't as organized as they should be, and they don't have the notes that you took that day. I can direct them back to this PDF and say, well, all of my notes are on Canvas. So if you lost that page, you can go back to Canvas and look at that information. So again, by capturing everything and saving everything, it's actually saving me time in the future. And so then the last thing that we're going to talk about are just some kind of little extras. Maybe OneNote's not going to work for you. Maybe you use PowerPoint or slides, and we can talk about that as well. In this last section, I'm going to make it quick and just kind of take you through, maybe answer some questions that you might already have, like especially where to find your videos, and what if you aren't writing on the whiteboard, is this still applicable to you? So first of all, let's talk about how to find your videos. And again, I've got Screencastify already running, so it makes this a little tricky, but I took some screenshots. So again, if you click on that Screencastify button at the top where you would start your recording, you'll also see at the top of that box these 3 white bars. If you click on, it's a menu. So if you open up the menu here, click on those 3 white bars, it will open up this screen. And so this is your account. So this is where you can access your recordings and also get to the editor. There's some other resources here that honestly I never use. And very rarely do I go back to my old recordings because like I said, the recording will automatically pop up once you finish it, and I click copy, embed, and embed that right into my Canvas page, and very rarely do I ever go back. But if you needed to go back, that's how you can open up your past recordings. And once you click on my recordings, it will open up your Screencastify account, and you will have access to any video that you've created in the past. So let's say we open up one of those videos. This is the screen that automatically pops up when you finish a video. If you wanted to get fancy with things, there is an editor here. You can open this up. Let's say maybe something happened at the beginning of your video and you want to edit that out. So you weren't able to get started as quickly, or maybe you forgot to turn it off, which I'm definitely guilty of. And so it recorded an extra 15 minutes of you helping your students. If you don't need all of that time, this is where you can do all of that. So let me just dismiss all of these things. It'll kind of walk you through how to use this editing program, but there's some really simple things that you can do down here at the bottom. Maybe I can move myself and kind of show you, right? You can easily cut the video. Like if I wanted to make it shorter and edit out maybe some of the mistakes at the beginning or the end, I could do that. Or maybe you got interrupted and you had to break your video into 2 pieces. You can go here to add media and edit those 2 videos together. Super easy. You just click add media, find the video you want, and it will put them both together. So then you hit export here and it'll save any of the editing that you've done. There's other cool features here for you to play around with, but like I said, I don't do anything fancy. My goal is to just capture what I'm already doing and make that available online. Like I said, I'm not interested in adding extra hours to my prep time. But if that's something you were interested in doing, creating a video that maybe felt a little bit more professional, there's definitely some options for you here in this editor, this edited place of Screencastify. And so then the last thing that I just wanted to talk about is maybe you're not writing on the whiteboard. Maybe you give most of your lessons through PowerPoint, or some other program like Google Slides, or maybe anything. I'll just open up my drive here for a second, because I also want to show you, you do have access, because Screencastify is a Google Chrome extension. It will create a Screencastify folder right in your Google Drive. So you'll also have access to all of those videos right there. It's harder to edit them from this access point. So I like to go in through that Screencastify account, but they are here as well. I want to show you this video. So there are times when I don't need it to play because that's awkward. But there are times when I've given notes or given a lesson using Google Slides or using a PowerPoint. And so maybe that's more your kind of mode for what's right for your classroom. But anything you put on your screen, anything that you're putting up on the projector, anything you want to put on your whiteboard, anything you're putting on your computer, you can capture. You can make it digital, you can make it a video, and you can put that onto Canvas with just a few quick clicks. So hopefully this has been informative. Hopefully you've learned something easy that you can apply to your classroom right away, whether it was Screencastify or whether it was OneNote, or the combination of both of those things. I hope this has been helpful. So thank you very much for attending.